baby.
What's happening, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. Subscribe or die trying.
What's happening, good people? This is going to be a little bit serious, but I'm gonna try to chill out. But as you see the thumbnail, picture a ghost. Amari Hardwick, the actor, but Ghost, the character. I think that's Ghost character, I believe. And the topic is basically, when it comes to black men, here we go, the what if-ism. And the reason why I got to do this is because when it comes to us black men, basically what winds up happening is people make up realities to justify their own stupidity. So, have you ever noticed, using this reference, you ladies will say something about, maybe I want to date a guy who's successful, or he got his stuff together, right? He's really accomplished, or he's rich. But what if that rich guy beats women? What if he hurts children? What if he's, what if he's verbally abusive? And I'm sitting there like, so you just made up a guy that's successful that you would want to date, but the reason why you wouldn't be with this guy that you made up in your mind is because the same guy that you made up in your mind became this character that would beat you and beat your kids if y'all don't have kids together, and that would verbally abuse you, like right after work. He's just coming home to two-piece you and the rest of the family. And it's like, so we're really not gonna live in reality. This is what we doing. Like, you're gonna take up as much time to what about and what if, possibly, perhaps, maybe, hypothetically speaking, this guy is pure evil. So now it's like, okay, because this comes from listening to videos online of people who are not black men always add black men into the conversation, but then add some fictitious storyline that doesn't even involve what's being talked about. Like, for instance, since it's the end of Black History Month and people talk about Martin Luther King, do y'all really know what got this Martin Luther King story got traction about him sleeping with women during the Civil Rights Movement? You do realize that came from like a Spike Lee movie, and then people just took it further and further and further. I mean, the story came from, J. Edgar Hoover telling him he was going to expose him. Remember? View history. If you accept this Nobel Peace Prize, I'm going to let the world know that you've been sleeping with women. But if you recall, if you know anything about history, J. Edgar Hoover never came out with any evidence. And he was supposed to be bugging and following and, having pictures and of all kinds of things that were going on with all kinds of people, because eavesdropping and get intel was his thing. That's what he brought to I want to say the FBI, and actually tracking criminals also, but more so he brought that surveillance thing. But now, what if we can discredit Martin Luther King's legacy because we're gonna make up something that was never proven to say, what if he really wasn't as pristine of a person that we would hope him to be because he possibly, perhaps, maybe slept with some women that we don't know about. See, truth be told, if you think about it, he's probably one of the first person that was Me Too. You see what I'm saying? Like, because there was no proof. It was just an allegation and people ran with the allegation. They did the same thing with Malcolm X. Maybe, he's a great civil rights leader, he's a great leader, but people were trying to, because he was in jail, he probably used to slept with men, or men slept with him, possibly, perhaps. What if he was one of the greatest leaders of all time, but he could have possibly, perhaps, maybe, what if he was actually undercover or on the down low? It's like, all of this stuff seems to be believable to y'all. Like, this is believable. This is what we're gonna really say. These untrue things are true because we say so. But when it's black men, it makes total sense. Total, complete, absolute, in an unbiased but highly biased sense. Now, the other thing that keeps coming up is this low standard. So you have a low standard for black men. So because you have a low standard for black men, you think that means that's not going to hide your low standard for yourself. So if you think black men are dumb, that doesn't hide the fact that you're dumb when you're talking to black men. Because if you were talking to somebody you perceive to be dumb, and then you realize they're smart, when you're smart, you would smarten up and have a smarter conversation. But what happens is a lot of you don't. Why am I talking about it in this context? Because being in the black manosphere, if you've been around long enough, or if you're around long enough, you're going to interact with women who are, you would say, feminist or womanist, or, you would have those debates, misogyny versus misogynoir, or whatever. Misogyny versus misandry is what I'm trying to say, and that too. So you would have these intellectual debates, and what happens is you're hearing a bunch of what ifs, but the what ifs don't add up to the reality. This is why you're hearing a lot of the brothers bring in facts, data, statistics, because you're seeing people willing to argue facts. They're willing to argue the statistics, because what they made up, the what if isms, don't hold up to the statistics. But if I keep repeating them, maybe everybody else will just say, yeah, that's true. Because for some odd reason, when it comes to us black men, your anecdotal evidence trumps actual evidence. So we're having a problem. So now we're having conversations, and people are creating a narrative that isn't real, once again. And they're having a conversation about a narrative that isn't real. And they want you to go down the rabbit hole of what if to make it real. So when we see these guys interacting with women, and the talking points are coming along, and you're seeing this flustered thing, because we've seen it for years. Some of you guys who are new into the space, you haven't seen it. We've seen it for years. That okay, here comes the confused blink shape. I just never thought about that. Why does that keep happening? Because what happens when there's no more what if? Then it's the John Cena, you can't see me. So somebody might ask, like, what exactly are you talking about? Okay. Take, for instance, recently, Obsidian had to upload his interview with the lady that was interviewing him from, I want to say, that the article wound up being in Esquire magazine. But when you heard the conversation, and she's supposed to be a scholar and he's a blue collar guy, he sounded smarter than her because of the what if ism. He was actually talking to her about reality, and she was kind of caught off guard. You can't graduate Penn and look so crazy. Now, the same thing happens when you get these guys, these men and women who come into the chat rooms, and when men are talking about male issues, they throw a what if in it. I.e., when it comes to fathers' rights, non-custodial fathers, it's easy to throw what if he never liked the kids anyways? What if he walked away from the kids and abandoned the kids because he never cared about them anyways? What if he really, really, is just a bad person? Okay, that's a what if, but did he go to court to fight for custody? Yeah, but what if he only went to court for custody just to save face and look like he really cared when he really didn't? Okay. Did he fight for custody? Did he want full custody, joint custody? Or did he fight to give his rights away? Well, he fought for full custody or joint custody. I mean, he lost full custody, but he got joint custody, but he would never really fight for what he really intended to do, was to just be let off the hook and give away all of his rights and responsibilities. He just want to be completely honest and say that's what he wants. It's like, this is what we doing. So how do you know that? Did you have a conversation with this guy or these particular guys? No, it's just, I have this feeling, I believe that this is what's going on. Well, how do you believe this? Well, because, they told me that, the black man abandoned the family and he left and he this, that, and third, and he's no good and he's the dog. Who is they, though? Who is they? Were these predominantly black men that were telling you this? No, but they got to be right. Okay. Well, let me ask you a question. If you could believe all the what if isms about black men, what if these other people were lying to you? They would never lie to me about that. Oh, interesting. This is how you wind up with a bunch of adults who got one story as a child and then became adults and didn't get like a fill in the blank story. They got a complete opposite story as adults. And the problem with that is now a lot of you are dealing with the fact that you were raised on what if isms about men, about black men in particular. And now all of a sudden your what ifs ain't necessarily working out too well. So now we got this issue. You got black men who are acting like high school girls, who are making up scenarios to get into it with other black men off of the what if. Well, maybe I'm gonna get at this guy because what if he really don't like me like that? Like, what if, he's cool with this guy, and since them two are cool and I'm not cool with that guy, what if they don't like me either? So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna attack the guy that I don't like, or I'm not gonna attack the guy that I don't like, but I'm gonna attack this other person, because what if they in it together and maybe they both plotting, and now what if I got ops? So now you what if yourself into a confrontation with somebody that didn't have a confrontation with you, because let's be honest, you weren't smart enough to actually have common sense, because the what ifs made too much sense to you. Now, here's where it gets bad. Because what if black men don't want to deal with your fantasy drama? What if these black men aren't around you, or they quote unquote walked away, or they quote unquote abandoned the family, or they quote unquote AWOL because they don't like being around people who can't live in reality? Could that be a statement of fact? Could that be true? What if the only real problem is you and your imagination? Could you live with that? Could you stand on that? Because what I normally see on social media is a lot of people who dig their own grave, and then and they point at other people, and then now that they're in this 10-foot deep grave, they look up and go, but it's your fault. You let me keep digging with the shovel, knowing that I was going to find a reason to dig this hole deeper and deeper for no reason. And I can't believe that you let me do this. Well, you grown. That's your responsibility. People told you to stop. You didn't listen. But when black men told you to stop digging your own grave, you didn't listen. Well, what if I didn't listen to him because what if I thought he was telling me a lie, so I kept digging my own grave because I didn't believe that he didn't want me to dig my own grave because I thought he was using reverse psychology. I'm like, are you really hearing yourself? Like, really? Are you really hearing yourself? So how come? So you didn't listen because you thought it was reverse psychology, and you may tell me you just never just decided to get away from that person? If you felt so not necessarily in danger, but so like the person didn't have your best interests at heart, why would you stay around there making up these what ifs? Because let's be honest, a lot of people are addicted to what ifs. A lot of people are the underdog in their own mind, in their own story, and they're creating a villain with black men using what ifs. Like we're dealing with the old trope of a black man getting on the elevator and a woman clutching her purse. What if he's trying to steal? Okay, what if he was trying to steal your purse, man? What if? So let me ask you a question. In the 2020s, where there's cameras everywhere, and there's cameras in this elevator, and there's cameras in the hallway, and there's cameras in the parking lot, and there's cameras on your phone, and there's cameras on his phone. The minute he walks in the elevator, he's gonna steal your stuff on camera. And he didn't have it's just you're a prime target right now. What if you're stupid? What if he's dressed better than you? What if he has more money than you? What if you can tell he's richer or more successful? And what if you can tell, what if he's on the phone talking? He's on the phone talking and you still clutching your purse and your pearls, and he's not even paying you any mind? Because what if that's just a lie? What if he's faking like he's on the phone and he's gonna rob me? Okay. Now what if he gets off this elevator? And what if somebody else gets on that's not black? Are you gonna have this what if commentary on your mind? Nope. Not at all. Not at all. Sorry about that. So now we're gonna keep playing this game. This what if game. What if? It's the same thing that happens. Why one of the reasons why I brought up I used the thumbnail with Ghost, because Ghost is supposed to be, all these ladies' fantasies. What if you could find a man who was a businessman, who was well-rounded and educated, but he was, you know, a masterful drug dealer and gangster at the same time. He's the best of both worlds. He's the best of businessmen and the best of evil men. And what if you got with a guy like that? And what would happen? He would be faithful to you. And he would kill everybody, but just not you. And he would be faithful to you and only you. And he would have a family that he put in a deluxe apartment in the sky. And you could be the queen of the dope game and the business arena. And just, what if, and I see potential in you, what if you could do both? What if you went to school and you got an education, you got a job, and I said, what if that's not good enough? How come you don't want to be Pablo Escobar? You got to be both. What if he says, no, I don't. No, I don't. So it's like, okay. But then all of a sudden, we play this dumb game. And it's just the same thing with the guys. Oh man, by the way this guy looks, he ain't real enough. What if I hear what he's saying, but what if I shouldn't listen to him because I think I could beat him up? What if his information may be important, but what if I believe that, what I'm saying, if you got me alone in a room with him for 3 minutes, I'd probably stump him out. So him telling me things that can actually help my life, why would I listen to that? Because I don't think he could beat me up in this fight that I'm having in my mind with him, because the way he presents himself, he can't fight, he can't have hands. In my mind, I'm Bruce Lee. Like I can I'm saying, I could look at him and say, you have disrespected my family and the Shaolin Temple. Like, I'm the baddest thing on the planet. Like, I could beat Mike Tyson in his prime. This guy looks like he can't kill a fly. And it's like, oh, okay. All right, that's what we doing. That's what we doing. So now we're going to play this game over and over and over again. Because when it comes to black men, it's always a what if. What if? What's happening here? So now we gotta sift through people's mental gymnastics, because watch this. What if I make a video? Make a topic, and you actually don't listen to it in full, but you comment, but you are missing, you listen to 2 minutes and it's a 6-minute video. And what you commented was the 2 minutes, part of the 2 minutes you heard. You didn't hear the video transition to expand on the topic. But in your mind, what if that's all he was going to talk about? See, I know everything he about to say because I heard the first 2 minutes and I typed this, What about the rest? Huh? What rest? What you talk? What? I didn't listen. I know you didn't listen because I'm not white. See, what if your attention span is that of a squirrel because you're dealing with a black man, but if you were dealing with somebody who wasn't a black man, you actually listen through and through. What if that? What if you pay attention more with somebody who's not a black man? What if that? So now we got to play this game where, people don't apologize. You know what I'm saying? Don't make no sense. Hold on. So now we're going to play this game over and over again with people. What if, what if, I gotta do it. I'm sorry, but I gotta do it. What if black men have no idea that you're doing the what if-ism in your mind with them, with us. Has that ever crossed some of you men and women's mind? What if we have no idea what's going on with you? What if you come across us with your what if-ism and we're trying to figure out what the hell is wrong with you? I was looking at a video recently, and they were showing a guy in the bank. The bank wouldn't cash his check. Cops come in. You need to calm down. Dude is laying like he's just chilling in the chair with his head back, like, what's going on? And the minute cop comes in, you need to chill out and calm down. Chill out. What are you seeing? Like, literally, what are you seeing? If a guy's chilling like this, and you walk in the room, you tell him to calm down, he's not talking to anybody. But what if he's contemplating shooting up the whole place? So I gotta come in and I gotta set the tone. Calm down, sir. What are you talking about? Don't raise your voice at me. What are you talking about? I know what you are and your type. I know what you're about to do. I know what you're doing. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? What is going on? And people can't really, you know what the deal is. And a lot of times the deal is really, especially for brothers, it's like, we're supposed to be in tune with your stupidity. Because we know that us being black men is an excuse for you to do the dumbest stuff on the planet, or things that don't make sense whatsoever. And we're supposed to figure out, oh, I'm a black man, you're not a black man, so you just made up something in your mind, and we need to go along with the game in your mind. And I know the game that you're making up because I'm just flexible to all of your stupidity from every direction when it comes my way. And it's like, no, actually we're not. Like, sorry. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sorry. We can't figure out that you've lost your mind the minute that we come into the room. It just doesn't dawn on us that a person who's supposed to be a professional in their job, the minute we show up, what ifs their way out of doing their doggone job. Like, let me say it this way. If you ever went to a restaurant and you sat at a table, and they sat you at a table, and then the waiter comes by and doesn't know how to be a waiter anymore because you showed up. They don't know how to give you the menu because you showed up. They don't know to ask you if you wanted anything to drink because you showed up. Everybody else is in this restaurant. They have they're a waiter to a whole section, and you're part of that section. But when you showed up, they don't know how to be a waiter anymore. They just, what if you just came here to troll me and you really don't want to eat? I'm not even giving you a menu because I think you're not really here to eat food. You're not in this restaurant with all of these customers eating who order food, don't actually order food. Somebody go, that's stupid, but that's really what's going on with the vast majority of you folks in America. That's literally what y'all do on a daily basis. And all that the internet shows, and all these things show, and all these interactions show, is you're out of your mind. You're literally out of your mind, and you're so accustomed to being out of your mind with us because you what ifs yourself into insanity, that now you're bringing your what ifs to everybody else, and people are like, this is crazy. This is crazy. So now we're like, okay, because what people don't realize, part of this pandemic, and even past the pandemic, even past the pandemic, what you're seeing is the political stupidity, seeing the intellectual stupidity. It all made sense prior to the pandemic because everybody was on code to be a nutcase if black men entered the room. Now all of a sudden, black men enter the room and y'all crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all, and now y'all bringing y'all crazy everywhere. And nobody can get it. You know, nobody could get. Oh, what happened? What did I do? What did you? You're crazy. That's what you did. What if I was just playing crazy because I thought you were crazy and I figured, I was gonna beat you to the punch? Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. So that's dumb. But this is what we deal with. This is what we deal with on a daily basis. So now I got to take it somewhere a little bit, left, possibly. So going a little bit back to the relationship part. The problem with it is when black men enter the situation, all the what if isms come. Even when it comes to love and marriage, reference to Married with Children, y'all talk about us as if we're going to be there later. What if I go to school and get an education and get a good job and maybe I'll travel and have a kid? What if I do all that? A black man is going to be sitting there waiting for me at 35 years old, ready to get married after I'm done doing me. And he's going to be able to do, and he's going to do everything for me that I wouldn't do for him. And I've never learned how to do for him because I never really interacted with him. It's like, okay, that's not reality. Fuck it, what's up? And then what if he's not there? Then if he's not there, it's what if he never really liked black women anyways? He was always into white chicks. Has he ever dated a white chick? I don't know because I don't know him, but what if that's what it really was? What if you just can't take responsibility for doing something stupid? Your plan was horrible. What if your plan that included black men was horrible? It made no sense. None whatsoever. Now I went to relationships, now I got to go back in a different direction. When we talk about the black community, and potential, a lot of the ills and the woes of our community is because we believe in screw-ups as a community. Black men who were screw-ups more than black men who were producers. And what if ourselves into staying in poverty, into generational poverty? Because what if the drug dealer and the gangster are actually the smartest people in the room, and they actually are the leaders of the community, and they can get us out of this situation? Well, okay, fine. How did that work out? Because we went down to what if the dope boy and the gangster was the leader, and it didn't work out too well. And now it's, what if the guy who was productive, he just abandoned the black community because, he was a sellout? Maybe he didn't want to be around the destruction of the people that you had faith in. Just maybe. Just maybe. Did that ever, since all of y'all were all in enjoying each other's vices, maybe, just maybe, that guy decided, I don't want to do that. I'm just going to go somewhere else because this is a little bit too much for me. But nobody wants to go, maybe we what if our way into a bad situation. What if that's the case? You know, the lady was saying, you know, what if you have a baby with a degenerate? He's a degenerate, but he's out. But his degenerate behavior makes him alpha. So what if that baby is gonna be alpha by birth? And how did that work out? Seems to be the softest, scariest, most effeminate, most narcissistic generations keep coming up because of this behavior. What if you would have had a baby by somebody who's a little bit more responsible? You know what I'm saying? What if? Would it be that way? Possibly not, because, you know, this idea that what if I could have a child by somebody who's unproductive, but I could get a black man who is productive to raise him and mentor him and maybe feel sorry for me and be in a relationship with me and take care of me too, so I get the best of both worlds. Because what if black men are going to understand that? Because, you know, I remind him of his mother who had the same situation. This is not going to end well. It's not going to end well. And it hasn't ended well for a lot of people. But, you know, people are tripping. Because all of a sudden it's like, I don't see what's going on. Well, as a black man, what if I had the same ideology as the what ifisms? Would it actually come off proper? Would it actually come off like it makes sense? Like, here's what I'm saying. What if I was raised by a bunch of men, single men predominantly, who weren't married, who have never been married, or who may have been divorced, but all of us men came together and we told our daughters everything that women are, even though we haven't been around women in 5, 10, 15, 20 years. We told our sons everything women like, even though we weren't around women and women didn't like us for the last 5, 10, 20 years. And everybody believed us. See, fellas, what if we could do the same thing? Let me say, listen, all you got to do, fellas, is you got to just go to the mirror, you know, brush your hair, clean your skin, wear cute outfits, and you know, and really just spit game at women. That's what they want. They don't want a guy who, you know, they don't want a guy who actually can protect and provide. That's not what they want. They just want a guy who's cute, that could be on her arm after she goes to school and gets her education and graduates and get a career. You know, don't all the other brothers agree? Yeah, well, how about, do the mothers agree? Do the women agree with that? Well, the women don't have to agree, because we are speaking for them. Because what if we know they want better than they do? Because we say so. Even though we haven't been around women in 5, 10, 15, 20 years, we still know them, you know, inside and out. It's like, so that what if really works? Nah, not really. Really doesn't work that well. But it's like, you can't say that. You know, you're a man. So, and I'm gonna take this somewhere, because it was something else that happened this week that I saw. Asian Doll, which was the ex-girlfriend of King Von, rapper that got shot. And there's a clip of her. I don't know if she's still with the guy, but she was talking about her relationship with another rapper named Jack Boy. And she basically said, you know, she was with King Von, and he was a rapper, and to her, he was attractive, and he was, everything that women wanted, and but and he was a street dude or whatever. But now that he got killed, now she's rethinking that whole process because she said she wanted a guy who had bodies. That's what she said. She wanted a killer. So she got somebody who fit that mold, and then he got killed, and then she's dating a completely different guy. He's still a rapper, but she's like, he don't mess with nobody. He basically ain't as good looking. He don't beef. He kind of stay to himself because that's what I want now. And I'm sitting there like, so you trying to tell me you're a grown, you're an adult woman, but you ain't grown. So you keep dating people and getting in a relationship with people like it's a game because it doesn't affect you. I want to be with a killer, so I'm gonna be with a killer. Oh, the killer got killed. I don't like killers no more. I'm gonna be with somebody who's not a killer, and possibly perhaps this would be the best relationship I've ever had so far because, the killer got killed, but this guy who does the same profession, he kind of stays himself, so I feel comfortable right now. It's like, y'all tripping. What if you So what if you get with a guy, because this is part of the what if ism. You get with a guy and you say, what if he changes into this, that, and the third? If this guy changes into this, he would be the perfect guy. So I'm gonna get him here and he can change into that. And it's like, no. But taking this a step further, using the ghost reference, people remember anything about Power, the show. Tasha didn't want to live she didn't want to actually live a business 9-to-5 legal life. That's not the life that Tasha wanted to live at all. So at some point, they was gonna go their separate ways. Anyway, what's up, Trent? They was gonna go their separate ways because they had two different ideas of what life was. Now, why am I bringing this what if ism in there? And using that picture and Ghost as a reference? Something simple put. If you notice, Tasha and Tyreek didn't care if Ghost died. They didn't care. His death really didn't mean much to them. It meant more to Tommy than it did them. It's just a whatever. You know what I'm saying? He not here, whatever. Forget it. You know what I'm saying? Because what if I could do all of this without him? What if he's just getting in my way? What if I'm actually smarter than him and fat and stronger than him and more violent than him and I'm a better human being than him? What if he's out of the way? I can finally shine like I really want to. What if this is my opportunity to be the coup de grace? I'm 2.0. And then you see this happen over and over and over again with entering the what if isms, because you guys don't like the fact that black men are doing what they're doing when it's positive. So when they get X'd out of that positive equation and they leave you to be the leader of the situation that you wanted to be the leader of, when it don't work out so well, guess what happens? You blame these men who you didn't want to be in the driver's seat for you driving the car and crashing it into a lake. What if he was still here? If he was still here, it wouldn't have been that way. But you didn't want him there, though. So let me get this right. Since everybody wants to have it both ways with us, we're the problem for saying no thank you. We're the problem for saying, hey, listen, you can't get everything out of me everywhere, you know. You can't get everything out of me in every way and give nothing. That don't make sense. That don't make sense. Exactly. Absolutely. So now, the whataboutisms. And part of what I was talking about was the Michael Jordan thing, because I was listening to the Ricky Smiley Morning Show on the way to work this morning, and Gary was talking, and he was over there. Oh, Michael Jordan, honey. Oh, it's all over social media, honey. That he took a picture with Mary J. Blige, honey, and he caressed her butt, honey, and honey. If she wanted to, she could sue for assault, honey, because Michael Jordan's a billionaire, honey. What if he was really just trying to get at her? What if he liked black women again? What if he trying to leave his wife? What if he really want to talk to Mary J. Blige? What if it was real nefarious? One of the guys said, I saw what happened online. It wasn't like, it's like the dude is 6 feet something. He bent down to hug a person, and kind of, and his fingers touched her butt, the top of her butt. Ooh, so bad. But what if it's more than that? What if it's deeper than that, honey? It's like, okay, all right, this is what we doing. This is what we doing. So what if these guys just stop talking? What if these guys just stop? You wonder why guys aren't approaching. Guys stop approaching. These guys stop approaching women because of the what if isms. I don't want to talk to you because what if you crazy? You go out on a date. Okay, let's go out on a date. I just want to let you know that I got your license plate number, just in case you try to, snatch me up from the restaurant and throw me in the backseat of the car and have your way with me and chop me up with an axe. Because what if you're a murderer? Why would you still order dinner and dessert and some drinks if I was a murderer? If you really thought that. Doesn't it seem kind of weird to you that you think that a guy's a murderer, but you ordered an appetizer and a meal and dessert and alcohol and a drink? Like you want to be full and hydrated upon your death? Like, what are you talking about? So what happens when less and less guys start approaching? Too many isms. Too many isms. So, what's up, Chaos? Got to hit you back. My bad, bro. So now you got all of this, what if? I remember having a conversation with my dad, and he got divorced, and his ex-wife was like, what if I put a life insurance policy on you? Yeah, I'll be there. Oh no, I told you I ain't doing no astrology. That ain't gonna be me. That ain't gonna be me. I ain't doing that. Got no, me and astrology, I have no idea. I forgot we talked about that last week, my bad. But what about that, can I put a life insurance policy on you just in case you die? So me and the boys could come together. Now at the time my dad had a heart attack, so he looked like he was on his way out. So he was like, what? You gonna call me and we're not married anymore to try for me to agree to for you to be the beneficiary of a life insurance policy on me while it looks like I'm in the hospital dying of a heart attack, of a bad heart? Man, Katie, thanks, man. But what if you don't make it? What they got to do with you? I got something more. The kids is one thing. What they got to do with you? It's like, what if I'm supposed to profit in your death? See, this is why men have a particular problem with the quote unquote Black Lives Matter thing. It's because of the what if isms. What if what if you cared about black men alive the same way you do that when they're dead, and you marching and getting money for them? Would the community be a whole lot different? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Would it be a whole lot different? Since we're going, what if? You know, because now people aren't haven't thought this whole what if thing through, and they forgot that the younger generation is just not playing these games. They don't care about your what ifs. They don't care about what if I could say whatever I want about you, but you gonna still but if you don't love me anymore, it's not about what I've said or done to you. It's just because I just made up that you never liked me in the first place. And like I said in the beginning, what if you're just stupid? Like seriously, what if you're just stupid? What if you're just not living in reality? What if you're just not living in reality? And since we're gonna go down to what if, because the what if isms keeps coming up. What if what if America didn't have a black man to blame? Do you realize how out of whack this country would be if there was no black man to blame? What if we just let the country in its current state? The country in its current state, trillions of dollars in debt. Can you blame a black man for that? No. But, oh my God, is America still the richest country on earth when it owes trillions of dollars to other countries? America can't pay its bills, and we can't pay our bills, but we the problem? Okay. What if America's imperialism could left black men out of the equation? What if it's not us that's in, 50 different countries across the globe with military bases and soldiers just in case something pop off, perhaps invading other people's territory? Would there be an act of war? Because if China or Russia or Europe or Africa or Central and South America or the Caribbean would have, their military stationed in Florida, in California, in Seattle, Washington, would it really look like, we're not being occupied? Like, what would that look like? Matter of fact, let me flip this. What if we were in control of all those things? What if it was us that black men were running America right now, and the debt was, close to $20 trillion and rising? Would we be incompetent failures? What if we were occupying other countries, and we were in charge of occupying other countries? Would we be looked at as imperial villains who trying to take over the world? What if we were funding coups of other governments? What if we were funding, rebels and undermining people's political systems? Would this country be a bad place then? What if, just by happenstance, what if black men were in charge of America and we funded South Africa right now, and we ran all of the white people there into a small little strip, and we funded them to be policed by all the black and mixed South Africans, and they kept taking land from the nice white people. And we kept giving those South Africans guns and money and weapons every year. And they kept driving the white people further and further into this little bitty strip and bombing them and over policing them. Would we be funding terrorism? Would they call it that? What would it be then? You know what I'm saying? What's up? Because what if we were all these things for real? Then what would it be? What if we were actually so abusive to these women? If we were actually abusive and beating them and verbally abusing them and stealing their money and sexually abusing them and this, that, and the third, would that mean these other races that some of these women would want to divest to, would they be easier to take them because we'll be the problem? Right? Because if that's what we are right now, then the other group should be willing to take them because it's the men that's the problem. Right? See, when you actually make these what ifs for real, these scenarios that people are making up would actually be different, but they're not. And that's the issue. They're not different. So now we got a whole nother problem. Matter of fact, what if these men were actually deadbeats for real? Because since we're going, what if? See, it worked when people used to say these guys are deadbeats in the era where they were rotary phones and no caller ID. But now, and people could be easily tracked, whether through the courts or online. You can be found in some way, shape, form, or fashion. But now, since you got all that, these guys aren't really deadbeats. So, but what if they were really deadbeats, like we said in the 60s, 70s, 80s, maybe even 90s? Then it would be easier to have guys play stepdaddy. But what if we come to find out that these guys weren't deadbeats and that was a lie? You just wanted control. And you told a lie to get control. And now the lie crumbled. And now people are like, we're not playing this. We're not playing this. No, I'm not playing this game with you. I'm not bailing you out of your own hustle because you would have me into a bait and switch. Because it ain't what you said it was. But because black man enters situations, what if I lied because I really was trying to protect my child from something from the pain and hurt of them getting neglected? Were they neglected before we left? Were they neglected before this situation split up? Well, yes, but no, but yes, but possibly, so how old were they when they were neglected? About 5 months old. That kid is 12 years old. You said that the kid got neglected at 5 months. So the other 11 years and 7 months, you've been trying to protect them. What if you don't really understand that deep down they really hated their own child? What if you don't know what you're talking about? Because see, people don't want to admit this. A lot of people got to live with the fact that they've what if themselves into a corner, and there ain't no coming out. There just ain't no coming out. Never good enough syndrome. So now I'm like, when it comes to black men, man, it's always a what if-ism. but y'all don't pay attention. So I don't know how you could think you're right by all these what ifs if they're all just fantasy. But I'm gonna leave this here at the moment. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna call this one a day. I got things to do. What if I got a life outside of this? And I got stuff I need to do after I had a hard day. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Like, share, subscribe, or die trying. Peace.